Welcome back to Nevermore, where art meets in the dark. I'm Mike, and today we're diving deep into the lyrical world of dark synth.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Joining me as always is Dr. Sarah Wild, our resident expert at dissecting the deeper meanings behind the music.
It's a pleasure to be here, Mike. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, dark synths music. I'm really interested to get into this.
I know, me too.
We even had a listener request to unpack their work.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, especially their upcoming album, Virtues. But
that's going to be interesting.
yeah, before we get there, what are your thoughts on their previous album, Sins?
Well, Sins was raw. It was visceral.
Yeah.
It was an exploration of sin.
Makes sense?
Yeah, it was fascinating how they used each track to delve into a different facet of human darkness.
Yeah, and musically it was potent.
Yeah.
That blend of dark synth pop and industrial influences created an atmosphere that was both seductive and unsettling.
Definitely.
So now they're flipping the script with Virtues, exploring the dark side of seemingly positive traits.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a bold concept, and I'm ready to see how it plays out in the lyrics.
I am too. You know, it really challenges our preconceived notions of morality and asks some tough questions about the nature of good and evil.
For sure.
So are you ready to jump in?
Absolutely. Let's start with I Killed It, which tackles humility.
Okay.
And musically, it's aggressive, industrial-tinged synth pop.
Oh, yeah. You can feel the aggression right from the start. You know, those distorted synths and the driving beat.
Yeah.
They create this sense of urgency, almost violence.
It's like the persona in the song is wrestling with some serious inner demons.
Totally.
And these lines really stood out to me. Mirrors shattered, the throne's a rusted wreck, crown's a bust. Humility's a rusty blade breaking when I thrust with it. I gutted the deity I built inside my skull.
Wow.
There's this powerful image of self-destruction, but there's also a sense of liberation in it.
There is. It's like they've broken free from the chains of their own self-importance.
Yeah.
But now they're left with this void, this gaping black hole.
So it begs the question, what happens when we tear down those false idols we create for ourselves?
Right. Is true humility about emptiness?
Oh, I like that.
Right.
Okay, so next up is Chopped Liver, which takes on kindness, but through a much darker lens.
Yeah, even the title itself suggests something discarded, unwanted.
Yeah.
You know, which immediately sets a somber tone.
For sure. And musically, it leans into that feeling of being unappreciated and betrayed.
Yeah.
It's haunting melancholic, but with this driving industrial edge that keeps you on edge.
Like that bitterness lurking beneath the surface.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the vocals start soft, almost mournful.
Yeah.
You know, which reflects that unrequited kindness. But then you can hear this simmering resentment that builds throughout the song.
Yeah, and it explodes in the chorus.
Oh, I bet.
Chopped liver, that's my name. Shoved aside, left broken, forgotten and insane. Poured out my soul, but it crashed and burned. The scraps on another one's platter. It doesn't matter what I wanted. I get what I deserved. It's like the persona has internalized that feeling of being worthless.
Yeah.
Used and discarded.
It's a cautionary tale about the potential downsides of unbridled kindness.
Right.
Especially when it's not reciprocated. It speaks to the emotional exhaustion and resentment that can build when we constantly give without receiving anything in return.
Let's move on to track 3, TikTok, where we dive into the world of patience.
Okay.
Or, rather, the lack thereof.
Okay.
The music is appropriately anxious and claustrophobic. That relentless ticking clock motif
Oh, yeah.
really gets under your skin.
It's incredibly effective at creating a sense of urgency and impending doom.
Yeah.
And the vocals perfectly match that feeling of being on edge.
There's this barely contained rage in these lyrics. Time's a thief, stealing moments I can't reclaim. Patience is an unraveling rope snapping under the strain.
That imagery is so vivid.
Yeah.
You know, it really conveys that feeling of being trapped, time slipping away, and that pressure that builds when patience wears thin.
And the chorus just hammers that point home.
Oh, yeah.
Tick-tock, tick-tock, clock's mocking my demise. Patience is a slow burn, hell in its eyes. Tick-tock, tick-tock, each second's a chain, binding me tight. Time's a clever con man, keeps me busy, chokes my spite.
Wow.
It's like the persona's being taunted by time itself.
Absolutely. There's a real sense of helplessness, you know, of being at the mercy of forces beyond our control.
Yeah.
And that can quickly morph into rage and desperation.
For sure. Shifting gears to track 4, Knucklehead, which delves into diligence, but again, in a less than positive light.
Interesting.
Musically, it's relentless and driving industrial dance.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah, you can almost hear those gears grinding, pushing to the limit.
It's high energy, almost manic, reflecting that feeling of being driven to the point of exhaustion. And the lyrics paint a picture of someone who's become a slave to their own work ethic.
Yeah, it's like an addiction. Check out these lines. Grinding till my eyes bleed, no sleep, no reprieve, knuckles raw and bleeding. I'm a machine, I believe. Yeah. Chasing shadows down a road that leads to nowhere. Bodies breaking down, but I don't freaking care.
Wow.
There's no joy in it, just this compulsion to keep going.
And the chorus makes that even more explicit.
Yeah.
Only one way I know, and that's with my head right through a wall. Yeah. I make the calls. I dig my own grave. I am my own slave. No rest, no peace, just grind and grind. Till burnout, till my fallout, till I get knocked out by my own kind.
It's a mantra for the workaholic, a self-inflicted curse.
Yeah.
It raises the question, at what point does diligence become self-destructive?
Right.
When does the pursuit of achievement turn into an unhealthy obsession?
Exactly. It's a fine line, and Darkson isn't afraid to explore the blurry edges. Now, Use Me is up next, and this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
This is the only song in the album with female vocals.
Oh, wow.
Performed by the fictional band member Anika Vogt. She's known for her quiet intensity, so I'm really curious to hear how that translates into a song about charity.
I am too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Use Me definitely has a different vibe, both musically and lyrically.
Yeah.
It's darker, more seductive, with these slinky synths and a pulsing beat that creates a sense of unease.
It's like a spider web. Alluring, but dangerous. And Anika's vocals are perfect for this.
Yeah.
They're soft, breathy, but with an underlying current of something darker. Something almost predatory.
Yeah, it's unsettling, especially when you pair it with these lyrics. My body's a temple desecrated and defiled. Come on in, vultures, feast on what's been left behind. I'm a resource, a tool, a vessel to be drained. Use me up and break me down. Keep yourself sustained.
Wow.
Right from the start, there's this sense of being offered up.
Yeah.
Almost willingly for someone else's benefit.
It's a twisted take on charity, that's for sure. It's like she's embracing her own objectification, inviting others to exploit her. And the chorus just takes it to another level. Oh yes, I'm yours, ready for the taking. Your broken doll without a soul. Damaged good that keeps on breaking. My body, my mind, yours to tear apart. Sacrifice my weapon, wielded with my twisted heart.
Whoa.
It's a complete surrender to someone else's desires.
Yeah.
A willingness to be used and abused.
It's a really complex and unsettling exploration of charity.
For sure.
Pushing it beyond the traditional understanding of the virtue.
Yeah.
And suggesting that even acts of giving can be motivated by darker impulses.
Absolutely. It speaks to the power dynamics that can exist in seemingly altruistic relationships.
Okay.
You know, there's a vulnerability there, but it's intertwined with this desire for control, for being the one who dictates the terms of their own exploitation.
Okay, moving on to a very different emotional landscape with Dead Inside.
Yeah.
This one tackles temperance, but taken to a chilling extreme.
Oh, wow.
Musically, it's a stark contrast to Use Me. It's bleak, minimalist darkwave.
Yeah, you really get a sense of emptiness and isolation in this track. You know, the sparse echoing synths and that slow, steady beat ooze despair. It's the sound of emotional shutdown.
And the vocals match that perfectly. They're deliberately flat, emotionless, reflecting that lyrical theme of numbness. These lines really hit me. Emotions buried deep. My heart a frozen tomb, flatline feelings living in perpetual gloom. No highs, no lows, just numb, empty shell, dampened these walls that surround my own hell.
Oh my gosh.
It's like they've extinguished every spark of feeling.
It's a chilling portrayal of what happens when we suppress our emotions too much. You know, we might think we're achieving a state of control, of peace even, but we're really just creating a void within ourselves.
Yeah.
And as we see in the chorus, that void can be terrifying. Ooh, I'm dead inside, a ghost trapped in my own skin. No feeling, no fight. Where does life end? Where does emptiness begin? I'm hollowed out, left bare. Ooh, I'm dead inside. I'm gasping for non-existent air.
Whoa.
It's a powerful reminder that we need to feel both the good and the bad to truly be alive.
Suppression might seem like a solution, but it can ultimately lead to a kind of spiritual death.
Precisely. And Dead Inside really drives that point home.
From Dead Inside to I'm in Danger, which explores chastity, or rather the struggle against overwhelming temptation.
Okay.
Musically, it reflects that inner turmoil. It's frantic, pulsating industrial techno.
Yeah, it's like the soundtrack to a mental breakdown. You can almost hear the persona unraveling as they try to fight against their desires.
There's a rawness, a desperation in the vocals as they sing, flesh crawls, blood screams, desires a raging fire, temptation's a serpent. whispering its seductive desires. Trapped in a straitjacket, I'm bound in its grip, but the seams are splitting, I'm about to slip.
Oh my.
It's a vivid depiction of being on the verge of losing control.
That serpent metaphor is so powerful. It represents the seductive nature of temptation, how it can wrap itself around us and squeeze until we give in.
And the chorus really emphasizes that feeling of being overwhelmed.
I'm in danger. 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 The sirens are wailing. I'm crumbling. My sanity's failing. Lust's a beast pounding at my door. I'm in danger. 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 But I want it more and more.
Wow.
The repetition just amplifies that sense of losing the battle.
It's a reminder that even the strongest of us can be vulnerable to temptation.
Right.
And sometimes the harder we fight it, the stronger it becomes.
Absolutely. We've explored those 7 twisted virtues, but there's more to uncover.
Oh, really?
Are you ready for the bonus tracks?
I am. Let's go.
Loving You to Death is first, and it's a slow, creeping, dark wave track that explores a possessive, almost suffocating kind of love.
Okay, the title itself is a warning. It hints at a love that is obsessive and destructive.
And the music totally supports that minor key melodies, layered synths.
Uh-huh.
It's all very gothic and morbidly romantic.
The vocals are key here. They're soft, seductive, but there's that underlying possessive undertone that sends chills down your spine, like a predator luring its prey.
Exactly. These lyrics are a perfect example. Found you broken on the streets, shattered like a dream, picked up the pieces, swore to make you whole, my seraphim. My love's morbid, like putrid blood seeping into your soul, a ghoul with a simple rule, to take what's mine, to take it all.
Oh my.
It's not love, it's ownership.
It speaks to the dangers of possessiveness and codependency. When love becomes about control,
Yeah.
about consuming the other person, it ceases to be love at all. It's emotional vampirism.
And the chorus just cements that, I love you, my angel, so innocent and pure. I'm obsessed with you and your allure. I'll keep you safe in your glass cage. In my heart, you're all the rage. I love you.
Ah,
Ooh, I love you to death.
it's chilling.
It's a love that's all about possession,
No.
genuine connection, a very dangerous and destructive force.
For sure.
Let's wrap up with the final bonus track, Speak Your Mind. It tackles freedom, but as we've come to expect from Dark Sin, through a cynical lens.
Yeah, the irony of the title isn't lost here as it Speak Your Mind.
Right.
When throughout the album, true freedom seems elusive.
Musically, it's a big shift from the previous track. It's anthemic and defiant electro-industrial. Pounding drums, distorted synths, aggressive guitar riffs. It's a call to arms, but one tinged with frustration and disillusionment.
The lyrics capture that feeling perfectly. They plaster free speech on every screen. Oh my God, what a joke. Speak your mind and they'll bury you, accuse you being anti-woke. Cancel culture vultures circling, hungry for the kill. Freedom's a buzzword, just a product they shill.
Wow.
It's a scathing critique of how easily freedom of speech is manipulated and controlled.
And the chorus, while a rallying cry, also has that sense of despair. Speak your mind. Come on, shout it out. They say you're free to speak, as long as it aligns. Freedom's an eagle with clipped wings, so strap on your rockets. Prepare for the fight. Speak your mind. Come on, shout it out.
It's like they're calling for a revolution, but they're not sure anyone is listening. Or if it even matters, it really makes you think.
Yeah, we've journeyed through the twisted heart of Dark Sin's virtues.
Yeah.
What a ride. What are your final thoughts on this deep dive, Dr. Wilde?
I'm struck by the sheer depth and complexity of their work. Dark Sin isn't just making music. They're crafting these immersive experiences
Yeah.
that challenge our perceptions, provoke strong emotions, and force us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves and the world.
It's definitely not easy listening.
Yeah.
But it's incredibly rewarding for those willing to go there.
Absolutely.
What would you say to someone who's curious about Dark Sin, but hesitant to take the plunge?
I'd say be prepared to be challenged, be prepared to feel, and be prepared to question everything you thought you knew.
Okay.
But most importantly, be prepared to be amazed.
Great way to put it.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up completely, I'm curious to hear more about these fictional band members. We know Graphics has crafted these intricate backstories for each one. What stood out to you?
It's fascinating how each personality contributes to the overall feel of the music.
Yeah.
Take Lukas Krause, the frontman.
Okay.
His lyrics are so raw and visceral, often reflecting his upbringing in Berlin.
Yeah.
He seems to be constantly wrestling with these inner demons.
Which gives his performance this edge of vulnerability.
His quote, "Pain is inevitable. Suffering is a choice. Art is the refusal to suffer in silence," really resonated with me. It speaks to the power of art to transform pain into something meaningful.
Exactly. And then there's Jannik Stein, the co-vocalist and synth wizard. He's all about pushing boundaries, experimenting with sound-challenging conventions. He's, quote, "Perfection is an asymptote. We strive for it, but we never truly reach it. The beauty lies in the pursuit." Speaks to that constant striving for something more.
And you can hear that in their music. The constant evolution, the refusal to be confined by genre.
Definitely. And Anika Vogt, the bassist, is a bit of an enigma.
Okay.
Her lyrics are sparse but incredibly powerful, especially in Use Me, which really showcases her vulnerability.
Her quote, "Less is more. Silence speaks volumes," is so fitting. There's a depth to her character that we only get glimpses of, but it's incredibly intriguing.
Absolutely. And we can't forget the rhythm section.
Of course not.
Tobias, Fuchs on drums, he's the wild one.
Yeah. The energy that propels the music forward. Hit hard, hit fast, hit often. Never apologize for your passion. That's Tobi in a nutshell. He brings this raw, visceral energy to Dark Sin that's infectious.
And rounding out the band, we have Leonie, Leo Neumann, the synth master and programmer. She's the mastermind behind those intricate soundscapes and the technological backbone of the band.
Yeah, her quote, "Code is poetry. Music is the language of the soul. Technology is the bridge between them," perfectly encapsulates her role in Dark Sin. She sees the beauty in both technology and art and uses her skills to bring them together seamlessly.
It's that unique blend of human creativity and artificial intelligence guided by graphics vision that makes Dark Sin so compelling.
And let's not forget the symbolism of their name. DARKS, so N, with the yen symbol.
Oh, yeah.
It's open to interpretation. Is it a commentary on the commodification of sin, a nod to technology, or something else entirely?
I love that they leave it up to the listener to decide. It invites us to engage with their music on a deeper level, think critically, and draw our own conclusions.
And that's the mark of truly great art. It sparks conversation, challenges our assumptions, and stays with us long after the music stops.
Well said. So listeners, if you're looking for music that will push you out of your comfort zone, make you think, and leave a lasting impression, Dark Sin is definitely worth exploring. Head over to their YouTube channel and dive into the world of virtues. You might just find that the darkest corners of art reveal the brightest sparks of truth.
And until next time, keep exploring the dark side of art.